everyone, so today I wanted to show you guys my brand new Reshade preset. So I will be, of course, having a link down below, and it's going to lead you to my website where there's tons of different photos you can look at of my new Reshade preset. So for the longest time, I used one called Fantasia Effects, and I still love that one. However, it is very old, and I just feel like back then I didn't really go through all of the settings. I did the things that I knew how to do, and that was basically it. So I've learned a lot more about Reshade, and I really wanted to dive deep into the settings, and yeah, this is what I've come up with. So some of you guys may prefer the other one I had, some of you guys may prefer this one, or you might not like either of them at all, but that is okay because we all have our own tastes with reshades. I feel like there's so many different presets, and it's like there's just so many different variations of presets that different people like for different reasons. And for me, I always like really bright and colorful, but something that was lacking in my first preset was the depth, shadows, and like sharpening. And so I wanted to do that. So this is just the matte view. This is how it'll look. So like this is it with it off, and then this is with it on. And then just for a reference, I'm gonna put on my Fantasia Effects one to like compare. So this is my Fantasia Effects. It's a lot less bright. It definitely brightens up the game, but it's just not as much, and then this is with it off. See how there's a difference, but it's not crazy. So if you're someone who likes a more subtle reshade preset, you'll probably like this one better, which is my old one, which is always up for download. You can find it. It's linked in the description. It's also on my website, which is just fantayzia.ca. There's a whole section for it and everything. But if you want something that adds a little more change to your game, you might prefer this new one. So let's just like take a look. By the way, it's called Utopia Skies, as you guys can see. And then here is the Fantasia effect. So, that's how the matte view looks. I personally prefer this one way more, but it kind of just depends what you're into. Also, just a little sneak peek on how this started out like that. Okay, for some people may like this, but for me, this is no. It's just it looks too much like not the game. I mean, this looks very different than the game too, but I don't know. It was a little intense, the other one, so I much prefer this. But yeah, so here's the matte view. We're gonna head into my cottage living Let's Play family because personally, I was very inspired to make this preset because of cottage living and because of Tumblr. To me, this reminds me of pictures that I see on Tumblr. This preset, I don't know, at least people from what the people I'm following. And yeah, just I don't know. And then like cottage living made me want to make this very just like magical feeling preset. And then I was like, oh my god, Utopia Skies, that is like the perfect name for it. Here's what the preset looks like. Also, my Sims are literally dying. But it's very early in the morning right now, so what I'm gonna actually do, I'm not gonna save, of course, but I'm just gonna go ahead and cheat their needs so I can speed through the time so you guys can see what it looks like different times throughout the day. It is fall right now, so keep that in mind. So we are in fall, but here's what it looks like from like, just like a morning, a sunny morning, and then here's what it looks like off. And then, yeah, so there's like a huge difference. And then my old one looks like this. Just because if you guys aren't familiar with my old one, maybe you want the old one, you can do that if you want. If you want to install my old one, both are available, but I just wanted to, show both to you guys, especially the new one, if you guys have not seen it. But it's very bright. I personally like that. It makes me happy. Some people like that. Whoa, some people like that, some people don't, but it just makes me really happy. So another thing that I want to show you guys is, so she's very uncomfortable right now. She's about to go outside. Okay, I'm gonna get her dressed, and I'll wait until she's kind of more in the sunlight. So I did add some sharpening with this one. You guys may already be able to tell, but in case you can't, I'm gonna show you guys. So can you actually just go over here, girl? So there is like there's something called MXAO with Reshade, and this is like an add-on shader that you can download. I was gonna turn that on with this one because I was really inspired to just have like a lot of shadows, 3D look, all of that. But the thing with that is it's very harsh on computers, and if some of you guys like this, I don't want you guys not to be able to use it because of the XMAO shader. So I didn't turn that on. So you don't have to worry about that. That's not on. However, there is like more sharpening to her face. I don't know if you guys can really tell, but like, okay, I'm gonna go into the reshade settings. This is the setting here. If you guys want to make your own preset, or if you've been doing that and you want to like know how I got my settings like this and stuff, I'll go ahead and like go over, my settings a little bit. I'll click on them to just show you guys. But for example, Luma Sharpen, you can make things more sharp. You see that? It's very subtle. I didn't want to make it crazy because it can start to look a little weird, but my old preset did not have that. So as you can see, the eyes are more sharp. I don't know. I just feel like it makes the graphics look a lot better. Whereas Fantasia Effects, you know, it's a lot more like dull, I find. Especially like I wanted this reshade to look best when looking at the Sims and looking at the world. Also, skin tones were very important to me as well. So I tried to, even though you see how her skin tone is changing a lot, like, you know, there's definitely a difference. It looks good with all skin tones, and I wanted to make sure like they were all showing up correctly. None of the skin tones looked orange. Like I wanted them to look correct, even though it does look different from the original. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure, and I've tested on all skin tones, and for me, from what I've experienced, at least with my screen settings, it looks good. Now keep in mind that a lot of people have different monitor like saturations and stuff, so depending on what your monitor brightness is at and your saturation, it could look different on your screen. So I want to just point that out there. So yeah, a lot of times presets look different on different people's computers. It also depends on your graphics card, so there's a lot that goes into this, but on my screen this looks amazing with all skin tones, so that's good. That was really important to me, and also hair colors look accurate, so everything like that is looking good. So just to quickly, in case you want to make your own, just to quickly go over my settings. So for Vibrance, here's my settings right here, down here, and then here is the Technicolor settings, which Technicolor turned off. There's a huge difference. So this I played around with for like over an hour. So here's the settings here, and then here, like, there's a small difference with levels. You can see there's just a little more shadowing. So here's the level settings, and this, I don't know what it's doing, but I did something and I'm scared to take it off, so I'm keeping it on. I don't know what's changing with that, but, and then there's curves, that's just subtle, but here's my curve settings, and then there's DPX, which makes a huge difference as well. So yeah, that's everything I have for that. This took me a while as well because it's really easy to make it look too orange. At one point I had the reshade how I thought was perfect, or the preset I should say, and then I went into Create a Sim and it was a whole disaster. So that was a problem. And then yeah, the Vibrance, we went over that. That's pretty much everything I have on. The Luma Sharpen, like these are my settings for that. But yeah, if you don't like downloading reshades, you could just do these same settings if you want to, if you just play on your own. The only thing I ask is please don't make your own reshade with my exact settings and then upload it. If you want to copy my reshade settings, that's completely fine, as long as you're not uploading it like as your own, you know, because I didn't want to be influenced by any preset while making this. I just sat here and made it for so long. The only thing I was referencing was my Fantasia effects. I was like going back because I wanted it to like not resemble it, but like, I don't know, there was certain settings with this one that I really enjoyed. But of course they're very, very different, because I feel like if I was going to make a new reshade, I should definitely make it different. I didn't want them to just be the same, and yeah, that would, I definitely wanted it to be different. So something I really love about this preset is how like water looks and everything. Like it's just absolutely beautiful. And like, I love taking scenery pics more than ever now. Like here's how it looks without it. I'm really enjoying taking before and after pictures lately, but look at that. It is insane. Oh my God. I don't know about you guys, but real life is brighter than this. Like, why? Why does the game look so dull? Obviously, real life is not necessarily this bright, but if you want your game to be bright and colorful and fantasy and dreamy, then yeah, you feel me then. But I don't know. I really just like bright games. That's how that looks, and we're going to be going to some different worlds and stuff so you guys can just see. I'm also just going to let the time play so that, you know, the different times of days can start, you know. Oh, it looks really pretty over here too. So here is it without it. Yup. And then like again, in case you want my other preset, which I might be switching back and forth from, you know, like I like that I have two presets now, so I can like switch back and forth from them if I want to. But here's what it would look like. So it's kind of almost, when I look at them, it's almost just like a more subtle version and like less crisp, you know? See how like, I mean, the shades are a little bit different, but it's similar. Like it has a little bit of a blue tone. Same with this one. I just like that vibe. It looks very pretty to me. And also it's easier to do a little bit of a blue tone, because I find if you do more warm tones, once you go into Create a Sim, everyone's orange and it could look fine in game, but then Create a Sim is like a mess. So for me, it's easier to have the tones be a little cooler, with some warm tones in there, of course, but just, you know, some cooler tones, like just, I put them up a little bit more, and there's just more detail in the trees. Whereas this is like the trees look softer. So that's because of the sharpening. So yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead maybe and head somewhere else so you guys can just see how things will look in different worlds and all that, different areas. So we'll go to one more part in Henford on Bagley, which is just here because I feel like there's a lot of buildings here and stuff so you can get a feel. While we're waiting, let's finally do our notification shout out. So this one goes to Allie Likes Cookies. Thank you so much. This was on a face cam video. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. And thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the Fantacorn fam. I appreciate you. And if you guys want a chance to be in a notification shout out, all you gotta do is comment down below. So here's what it looks like here. Again, just going into tab mode and just showing you the difference. And then again, I'll put on my other one in case you do want that one. I know, repeating myself, but that's one that it's basically, you know, a just less saturated, less crisp, less sharpened version. You know, that's what it makes me think of. So yeah, if I was to like turn off the sharpening and all that, like they would look similar. This has like a little bit of different lighting in there. It has a very like, I guess like dreamy effect, which is what I wanted because I called it Utopia Skies. So I wanted it to be like dreamy. So yeah, that was intentional. I'm really inspired to make, if you guys want me to make like a lot of presets, let me know with like all different vibes. Like I could even make one that's more like, if you guys are into more like darker reshades, I can lower the brightness and like you know, certain reshades look really cool for photos. Like there's some really cool settings. But yeah, here's what it looks like over here. And like, you know, a building. But yeah, I can make different presets that aren't even necessarily my style, but if you guys just want me to do that, because now like I have a lot of fun doing it. Like now that I have learned a bunch of other settings that I wasn't really aware of before, it's a lot of fun. And like, yeah, like if you guys want presets with like different shaders, like, you know, different just like shadows and all of that, maybe for a more dim one, maybe you want a more like, I can even make it look like an old film. There's different settings to like, if you want your game to look more like back in the day, like you can do that with Reshade. It's so cool. Yeah, here's what this looks like. So much more lively. Okay, we're taking forever. Let's go somewhere else. I'm just having fun. Like guys, all day I've just been like traveling, going around to different worlds, seeing what it looks like. I'm just having a fun time. Let's go to Sulani. So now, you saw how bright it was there, right? It's very bright here. I just want to warn you guys, but I personally am obsessed with it. But if you're not a person who likes happy, bubbly, like bright, you might just want to tone it down a little bit in Sulani. But Fantasia FX, I feel like is perfect then for you, for Sulani, because it's brighter, but it's not like shabam. But this just, I don't know, this makes me want to go on vacation when I see this here. Like it's really, really beautiful. Oh, let me keep it on pause because we're getting to the afternoon time, so it's going to be even brighter, which don't think we need it to be any brighter, but look at how freaking beautiful it is. I'm so obsessed with it. I don't know what that noise was. Okay, and then my other preset looks like this. So as you can see, it still brightens it up. But yeah, just if you want something a little more toned down but still brightened, see the difference there? It's just not as drastic of a difference, but it still brightens up your game. So like I said, both will be in the description. Utopia Skies will just be towards the top, but they're both in there. That's what it looks like. Here it is just super gorgeous to me. It's just so, so beautiful. And I love the detail of the trees and everything. And like, I don't know, I want to take a bunch of photos and, you know, swap between like desktop wallpapers. That's what this makes me want to do. Okay, so there's that one, and then we'll visit like a world with a little bit of a different style maybe. We'll go to Mount Komorebi. Okay, you guys, so here we are in Mount Komorebi, and I really love the vibes here as well. Like I just think it looks so nice. So like here, and then with it off, it's really pretty in this world. Like, I don't know, I feel like the two worlds that it is made for, it's my favorite in, is Henford on Bagley and Mount Komorebi. Like it just to me looks the best there, in my opinion. It's just, I don't know, it's so beautiful. I love the way it makes the pink trees look, and there's a lot of pink trees in this world. Here's like a little shot, like all these trees, it's just, Look at that. So bright and colorful and happy. Okay, you guys. So I don't really know if there's anything else I should show you. I mean, I might insert some photos, or if I don't, actually in the download post, there's going to be lots of photos. I try to put a lot there so, you know, people can really see what things look like and everything like that. So if there's any other worlds that you want to see, I think I have some photos there, even from Oasis Springs and Willow Creek. But yeah, even this just, oh, so much better. And look at the sharpness on the windows. Do you see that? So yeah, you guys, that is pretty much it. If you want to download this, of course, feel free. And of course, if you also, you know, want to download this and maybe change some of the settings, you can do that. That's totally fine with me. I don't have an issue with that. It's your game. If you want to, you know, use this, but there's a couple things maybe you want to change because everyone has their own taste. So yeah, there could be a couple things that you may not be a fan of in this, but there's other things about it that you like. Maybe you don't want the sharpening, like you can, but you like other things about it. So you can grab it if you want, and then you can turn certain settings off or adjust them a little bit. If you guys want to know how to download Reshade, I'm not going to be covering that today. However, there is videos. Just go on to YouTube and just type Sims 4 how to download Reshade. There's a lot of Sims YouTubers who have shown you how to download Reshade, and I feel like it's easier to follow when you're watching how you download Reshade for The Sims 4, because Reshade is for a whole bunch of games. It's just a program where you can change the color of games and all that. It is a really big program, so if you don't have the best computer, it might make your game lag. But with that said, you guys, that's pretty much it, and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up here. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are all having an amazing day, and don't forget to leave some positivity down below. I love you guys all so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.
Honestly, I'm open wide. I don't feel like waking up without you by my side. I still see your silhouette. Why don't we go back to your bedroom?